right? Cast it for 7. Submit 0. Auto pay. Now it buffs up. Ow! Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. We're chilling within Mythic today, 751. Amonkhet Remastered just hit Arena. We have a ton of new cards to be farming. We can buy packs, play seals, play drafts. So no matter which way you want to go to be getting these cards, you can get there. Rotation season hits in September. We're getting close to that. This will be the second rotation season within Arena. So the historic card pool is getting massive. And I think this will become the dominant queue within Arena as we progress. However, for those of you just starting out, you may struggle to get into the historic pool because it is so vast and you don't have quite the card pool to get there. So we are talking standard today, and Wizards was nice enough to release 15 new free-to-play decks to you guys. And we're going to go through and upgrade these decks within the following week or two, incorporating rares and mythics that you will only use within top meta decks. We don't want you guys spending your wild cards or trying to farm for wild cards that you will not use in other top meta decks. These decks are great, they're good entry, but they're not going to get you into the top mythic rank, right? We're going to need to be using those top tiered 1 decks to get there. So to do so, we're going to be using these decks to farm and my other free-to-play budget decks. Be sure to check those out as well. However, lots of you don't have the uncommons for that yet, so this is a great start. And I want to show you guys some potential upgrade guides for each of these decks to make them more competitive, get you farming cards at an expedited rate, maybe even competing in some of those constructed and historic events. So with that being said, if you find any value within this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and share the channel out to a friend. If you've been enjoying any content on the channel, I encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. It's a great free way to support me along this journey. We've got everything from free-to-play budget beginner guides, just general Magic the Gathering Arena beginner guides talking about the principles and archetypes behind this amazing game, some of the top-ranked standard decks, the best historic decks, great original Brawl decks, and some tools and tips. And then we even have a little bit of limited. So no matter what you're into within Magic the Gathering Arena, we have you covered. Subscribe to the channel, join for your chance to win up to 500,000 gems. Make sure to check out our Discord and enjoy this video. First up, mono green. I find that new players gravitate towards mono green, so I wanted to do it first, right? There's just some satisfaction as playing a big creature and smashing your opponent, right? When we are new to Magic, we're like, well, he's got 20 health points. I win the game by getting that to 0. I can do that with these huge creatures. That should be pretty easy, right? So mono green is great for beginners for that exact aspect. It's really easy. It's straightforward. You play your lands, you play your creatures, you power them up, and you smash your opponent. There's nothing to it. So Large and In Charge is our new free-to-play mono green deck that focuses around huge creatures and having those creatures utilize trample, which is a form of evasion to get through your opponent's blockers and still hit his health points down to 0 for the win. There's a couple things I want to touch on within the vanilla version of this deck. Stony Strength, +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, untap that creature. So within the deck, there is a sub synergy of farming +1/+1 counters to make those creatures bigger. It's not super prevalent within the free-to-play version, but within my upgraded version, I really magnified it, and it works quite fabulous. Just a few things I wanted to touch on that. Jungle Diver as well is putting +1/+1 counters on it. So I was able, just through these few cards, to determine that that's what the deck was looking to do. And now when you look at any deck, not just this mono green one, look at the recurring principles or archetypes mechanics within the deck, and then you're going to get a better idea of how it's meant to operate, and then you can go forth accordingly. And then again, there's some ramp creatures here with the Caryatid, the Mystic, and then we have a little bit of removal through the Rabid Bite. And again, a little bit of a draw engine, which is really good. Creatures with trample, a vanilla 4/4, which is strange, so we're probably going to upgrade that. The World Shaper is one of the rares that it gives us, which is really cool. A 3/3, whenever it attacks, you may mill 3 cards. when it dies, return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. So that's a great way to ramp if it can get through. And we're going to try to get trample on that as well a little bit. The unicorn, just some more shenanigans. The Packhunter is pretty cool. It gets 2 +1/+1s for every Packhunter that enters the field on top of it. And then we've got the spider, and then the Gigantosaurus. So this is actually really cool for free-to-play individuals. This is a 10/10 for 5. You have to play it in a mono green deck, obviously, or maybe a chromatic lantern or something. But if you can put trample on this right away and your opponent doesn't have removal, oh my lord, right? That's going to get you wins right away. The Brontodon, we get 2 copies of this as well, 7/7. It costs 7 and it gets +1/+1 for each land you control, so it's probably going to attack for 14/14, which is pretty cool. So I just wanted to showcase the deck and how it focuses around big creatures with trample. We have a little bit of fight effects and a little bit of ramp. These cards are only legal to be played in best of 1 and historic. So if you want to play historic, there's a little bit of a sideboard for you here. But we will just be playing best of 1 today because of hand smoothing. And I really think that best of 1 hand smoothing is the best place to start. For beginners in Magic the Gathering Arena, what it does is it compares 2 draw hands and it gives you the best one. So it's reducing the amount of mulliganing you need to do and the skill to do that, because mulligans are an art form and something that you really need to dial in over years of playing this game within different archetypes to kind of get a good grasp on it. So with the free-to-play budget version out of the way, right? Everybody has access to all of those cards right now. We're going to talk about some upgrades that you can make to the deck. Right out of the gate, we have the Great Henge. This is a mythic card. However, we see it in almost every mono green deck. It is amazing. A little expensive, and you could get away with 1. Now, like that, with all of the cards that I'm incorporating into the deck as upgrades, if I've used 2, if I've used 4, and you don't have that number, that's totally fine. This is just something to work towards. So if you only had 1 Great Henge, no problem. Put 1 Great Henge in there. That's totally fine. So the Great Henge is great because it costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. We talked about having that Gigantosaurus, right? So it would cost 10 less, immediately just dropping the cost down to 2. We can only reduce it by 7, so we can't ever reduce it by the mana symbol cost, just the, the grayed out cost that you can cast for any mana. So we could potentially play the Great Henge for 2 because the deck has creatures that are so big. So that makes it a great card. We can tap it to add 2 green mana symbols, which is a form of ramp, which is also something the deck wants to do, which we touched on. Plus we can gain 2 life, which is just great, a little bit of survivability. But where it really shines, whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. We talked about farming +1/+1s. This does an amazing job putting it on all of our creatures. And then we also get to draw a card. So it is going to replace itself if it comes prey to removal, or has a chance to replace itself, I should say. It could be a land, but regardless, the chance to replace itself is really good. So the Great Henge is my first upgrade to this deck. I think it just makes it a little bit more consistent. If you fall prey to removal, or some aggro decks get some heavy damage in, maybe they've got flying that you can't deal with on time. So the Great Henge is my first upgrade. Secondly, I've got Vivian, a Monster's Advocate. Again, I've incorporated 2 copies of this, but you can run 1 if that's all you have. This is a legendary planeswalker coming in with 3 loyalty. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may cast creature spells from the top of your library. +1, create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Put your choice of Vigilance, Reach, or Trample on it. Add -2 whenever you cast your next creature spell this turn. Search your library for a creature card with lesser converted mana cost and put it onto the battlefield, which is broken. So Vivian's really, really cool. The ability to be playing creatures from the top of your library will give you virtual card advantage because you're not emptying your hand out, and you're only allowed to, without draw spells, draw 1 card a turn. So if you can keep your hand from emptying out as the game goes on and play from your library, that's going to be a massive advantage. Creating the 3/3s is good, and the -2 to play something with lesser converted mana cost is even better. Right? We could potentially cheat a Gigantosaurus on the field for free if we do. Gemrazer is our next upgrade. This is just a really good utility card. It has reach, it has trample, so the defensiveness of it having reach is great. It can shut down the flyers, which sometimes worry us within mono green. It already has trample, which is a recurring archetype within the build that we want to stay true to. And then the bread and butter here is whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. So we like to kind of hold this in our hand as a defensive card, not really use it offensively. He plays an enchantment, now we can destroy it, or maybe he plays a flyer and now we can use its reach. We've got 2 copies of Questing Beast, and this is just the best green card that we've had in a while. A 4/4 Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste, can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented, and whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls. So, you know, every green deck and every Gruul deck as well is going to have Questing Beast. If you've got Mythics to throw around, Questing Beast is your boy. You know, as long as green and, you know, maybe even Gruul are your go-to archetypes as a beginner. 2 copies of Yorvo, Lord of Garenbrig, 0/0, entering with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever a green creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Yorvo. Then if that creature's power is greater than Yorvo's power, put another +1/+1 counter on Yorvo. So we're farming counters. Yorvo is going to get those counters on him, right? That's just standard synergies within the deck. We also have incorporated something really cool, which isn't a rare, but I still want to bring it up. Before we had at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card, which was great. That's really good. However, Garruk's Uprising is a pretty cool replacement for that. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. But if you do, this is a pretty cool exchange of cards here. So when it enters the battlefield, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Creatures you control have trample, and then whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. So it's still a draw engine, but it's going to give our creatures trample universally. And you know, when we have the Gigantosaurus here as a 10/10, that's what we're looking to do, is to give that creature trample very effectively, efficiently, and consistently. So Garruk's Uprising is a pretty cool replacement for a draw engine. Scavenging Ooze is a must-have in any green deck. It's a 2/2 in which we can pay 1 green source to exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on the Ooze, and we gain 1 life. So again, this is helping farm tokens for us, and it has a little bit of life gain. We've exchanged our removal from Rabid Bite into Ram Through. Instant speed, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. If the creature you control has trample, excess damage is dealt to that creature's controller instead. So we're giving trample to things universally. So this is going to help us do not only some removing, but a little bit of damage to our opponent as well. We still have the cartridges, and then we've added the Wildwood Scourge, another uncommon, which is, you know, a pretty easy transition to make, especially if you're playing limited. You should get these no problem. Wildwood Scourge enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on another non-Hydra creature you control, put a +1/+1 counter on the Wildwood Scourge. And like I said, we're farming +1/+1 counters on everything. The Scourge is our only Hydra, so whenever we put a counter on anything, it will also be put onto the Scourge, which can get out of hand quite quickly. Because Yorvo is going to be getting countered, like everything gets counters within the deck. So the Scourge will power up beyond belief. And then, you know, like we said, Garruk's Uprising gives everything trample. We have a little bit more though. Primal Might. Target creature you control gets +X/+X until end of turn, and then it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. This is a little bit more removal. It is a fight, so it's not doing damage equal to our power. They will both deal damage to each other. But the +X/+X is amazing, especially when we have trample. We don't necessarily have to use this for the fight effect. However, the bonus is nice. We could just use it to buff up our creatures and smash in. So those are our upgrades of the deck. I've also incorporated 2 Castle Garenbrigs, a rare land, which we can tap for 5 to add 6 green mana sources. So, you know, another great way to ramp up a little bit for us here. The general deck, though, if we've not touched on it, we've got the cartridge, which just ramps mana. If we have creature power 4 or greater, it will add 2 mana. We talked about the Packhunter, 3/3 for 4, not great stats. However, it's a good filler. It has trample organically, and then it can get bigger if we play more Packhunters on top of it, which can be pretty easy when we're able to pull them out at will with our Vivian -2 potentially. Epic Proportions is really great. It is expensive for 6, but we have so much ramp within the deck, and especially if we can get Henge out as well, really reducing the cost of this. Enchanted creature gets +5/+5 and has trample. This is just amazing. Similar to Embercleave having flash, your opponent can declare blockers, and then you get to make the decision of to which creature this will go on to make sure you're getting the most damage possible into your opponent. So just a great way to deal lethal on your last swing with epic proportions as well. The Brontodon, we talked about this, just buffing up +1/+1 for each land you control. If you can combo this with your Primal Might, it's basically like +2/+2 for each land you control. So that can get kind of, you know, in the way of your opponent. There is one concern I did have that I want to mention here as well. Heroic Intervention. If you find that you're facing removal, oh my lord, my typing. There we go. So if you're finding that removal is hurting you and you're getting hit with field wipes, destroying all of your creatures, you may want to look into Heroic Intervention. And now this is a card that's going to be used in multiple top tier decks for the next year. So there's no problem crafting it if you want to. If you feel that you need protection, permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. In today's gameplay footage, I'm not using this, and you can see a couple times that it could have saved us. So a potential idea for you there as well to sub in. And again, you could easily take out literally anything for that if you wanted, just because the protection is so helpful potentially. So that is, you know, the general deck list. Normally we do break it down a little bit differently, but since you guys have access to all of these decks, I'm assuming that you've already played the mono green deck and you know how it works. Now you're just looking to make it better, right? So I didn't go too in depth within the original deck, and I just wanted to kind of focus on the upgraded version that I have, since you should already kind of grasp how that beginner one works, since you should all have been playing it, right? So our main strategy here is to flood the board with creatures, give them trample, smash our opponent, remove his important creatures with our removal, or his defenders that can, you know, interfere with us, things with death touch of that nature, right? So the strategy is very simple. Farming the +1/+1 counters is great. You know, this deck has no problems within it, especially if you're using intervention. I find that these new starter decks are a little bit more powerful than the old starter decks. They're maybe a little bit more well built than we're used to seeing. Maybe my you know, my playstyle is just growing and I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with the different archetypes, but I'm 100% comfortable playing this. The free-to-play version is a little risky biscuits, but when you start to incorporate some of these upgrades, yeah, I don't think you're going to have any trouble winning games. So before we get into today's gameplay footage, I do thank you for your time and attention. I'm live on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m. At 7 a.m., we're live on Twitch, and then back again on YouTube live at 6 p.m., all Mountain Standard. You can check us out. Links for everything is in the description below. We're almost at 10K subs, which means our 500K gem giveaway is about to trigger. Don't miss out on that. Again, jump into Discord if you want to learn more. Free-to-play tournaments, or free-to-entry cash prize tournaments, I should say, every month as well for the community. So we've got a lot going on within the Discord. It is definitely the place to be. So thank you to all of our support on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube. You guys making this increased workload possible. And yeah, you know, big thank you from myself and the community who's been enjoying the content. So with that being said, enjoy a little bit more and enjoy this large and in charge free-to-play upgrade guide in Magic the Gathering Arena. Peace. Keeping 7, and you know, we're already seeing some of our upgraded cards here. Hello. Oops, that's not a land. Off to a good start. So the Gigantosaurus is pretty cool. 10/10 for 5, right? Very neat, to say the least. Especially when you ramp into it. Basically forces your opponent to have removal or chump blockers. Science in play, which is, you know, it's cool.
A quest of mystery.
Another great thing about the Gigantosaurus is it's really going to reduce the cost of the henge, which is great. We've got 4 available. Let's take it, casting this for 3. Alright, Science up, drawing, discarding. He's got his alliance in play, which means he makes a 1/1. And, you know, he's got the chump blockers that we talked about, so we're going to need to find some trample. We've got a little bit of life gain here available to us. Hopefully there's, you know, no counter spell here. We shall pray. If there was a spell to counter, that would be the one. And now we see that the Henge is down to only costing 2, which is pretty cool. So let's burn through this chump blocker.
You have the heart.
Have a great day, Anvil. Thanks again. Crackling Drake's great, replaces itself. Also triggers the Alliance. A woof. Alright, our opponent's not joking around here.
I will learn what nobody yet knows.
Alright. I mean, we could kill the Drake, so it's not really a problem. His mana's tapped, so the Henge comes in freely. This burns all of our mana, and then he gets to hit us with a massive amount. This taps for 2 mana, so we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that is everything. I guess we could take the hit, right? 5's not too much. Just keep this draw going, and then we get the counter on this Druid as well. And we still, I think, should try to trade. Because the Crackling Drake's the only thing threatening us. Ooh, that's a good hit on the Scions. We've got a fairly aggressive field here. Niv Mizzet, nice. That does tap all of his mana though. I'm glad we saved our ram through. Woof. Scions can only plus. Ooh, gonna hit us for 7. 8, 9 potentially. Saving his chump blockers. It's probably better. Okay, we get hit for 8. So that's kind of weird. We take 1 damage, he draws a card. He should kill our Ilysian Caryatid. We have 6, 7, 8 available. Doesn't really have reach. I don't want to spend too much mana in case we pull something cool. Let's just go in for 3. Leaves us 2, 4 mana. For the questing beast. Yes! Triggers both of our scourges up now. Beast goes in, can't be blocked, so the Scion dies, and then that allows us to go in with everybody. Doubles, or sorry, puts another counter on it. Just 1? What's going on here? How did that get so big? For each land you control. Oh! Oh! Alright, so like pretty simple upgrades with cards that we're always going to be keeping and playing in the more competitive decks. Like Questing Beast, like the Great Henge, right? So, you know, some of these starter decks are actually pretty cool when we start lacing some upgrades into them. Keeping 7. Whoa, we get a new field, and I am loving it. This is the first time I've seen this. Please and thank you with these... Oh! The wind blowing the sand through the city? Stop it. Is there any interactive content here. Normally we can click on the stage and get certain effects to trigger. Normally in the corners. And I like how the bird's got his little perch and the dog's got his little perch over here. Oh man, that's so cool. He's got a little care package on him. Oh, it's that Jace doll. Oh gosh. Anyways, probably just right in with Lord Yorvo, right? Or we just hit with trample. We don't necessarily need trample. I think he's just going to take the damage anyway, so we'll just decrease the cost of our henge to 5, going to 4. The freebooter is definitely going to take our henge. Goodbye. Might take Uprising for the trample, but most likely the henge. Does not take the henge from us. Interesting. Wants to keep that trample away. Which it is also a draw engine, so it's respectable. And most importantly for him, he's seen our hand. One, 2, 3, 4. This costs 5, sadly, so just in for 3. Pushes Yorvo to 5, which pushes the Scourger to 4. And we are all in. Hitting for 7. No trample, thanks to him, but we don't need it because he doesn't want to block with the freebooter. And he could have and then sacrificed the Savior to keep it alive, but that's that. Just trying the stage out here for some interactive content, I hope. Somewhere. I want a mummy to pop out. Normally they've all got something, but again, this is a brand new stage, so maybe not. Maybe it's in the buildings. Or where it should be, in the graveyard. Right, mummies belong in the graveyard. If you guys find any interactive content on the stage, you let me know. I remember the first time learning that within the stages. In that recent one with the lava pool, if you click on it, a big lava worm comes out. So it's great. So our opponent's flooding with tokens, and now he's using a Loxodon to buff them all up, which is actually kind of threatening to us. Except he's only got 2 defenders here. So this isn't going to be enough. It is what it is. You know, I think we're basically just playing defensively here. And I think we just try to push in still. If it's an unbreakable formation or something, we're screwed. No attacks, let's play defensively. Try to stay smart here. Oh, good game. Whoops. So we're getting smashed here. This is incredible. Not good. Doesn't go with them all. It's keeping the defenders in case he whiffs, but playing through his whole library is ridiculous. Let's see how it plays out for us, though. Bazooket. Loxodon. Yep. That's a good game. Pulled Judith. Pulled another freebooter. That's definitely a good game. I think it's for what? 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, 16, 20, 24, 26. And then if we make any kills, Judith does additional damage. Big woofs. We'll take it on the chin though. Holy moly. We go first. That's always fun. Plenty of land, a little bit of ramp as well. The Scourge plus Yorvo, which we've seen pop off, but not quite enough. Getting whooped up last match by Winoda. Knight's not so bad. I mean, we could just fight it. Cruel Celebrant. So we could play this for 1 and then fight. That would not work. So, oh no, we could play for 2 and fight. Right? Yeah. Hopefully there's no Luris to replay that. Bastion of Remembrance. Maybe we should have killed the Celebrant. The Knight annoys me though, am I right? Let's get Yorvo out first. Ooh, 4 greater so we can play for 2, which is the Ooze. I appreciate that. Another counter on Yorvo, another counter on the Scourger. So just kind of making sure that all of our creatures trigger the other creatures, farming those counters. Using trample to smash. Chip damage could get annoying here from Bastion of Remembrance. But if we can pull trample, we should be okay. Ooh, 2 copies of it. Nice. This will give us 3 mana. And now we're farming +1s on everything. So this will come in with 1 from the Henge. We draw a card. Yorvo gets 1. The Scourger now gets 1. And we can go a step further, I guess. Take 1 from his Knight. Give the Scourge another counter. Again, going all in. He still mitigates almost all of this damage. We get in for 3. There's a lot of damage here. Let's take some life. Oof. Down to 14, but look at our field state. This is heavy. As long as there's no wipe, we are smashing down here. Let's just take the draw. Land, that doesn't help us. Take a draw here. Plus a Yorvo, plus both of our Scourgers go up. We just drew a land though, so we don't really get anything from it. Regardless, it's Smash O'Clock. Stops the 11/11. That's fine, no death touch yet at least. He sacks it, so a really good chump block. We lose 2 life, he gains 2 life, and draws 2 cards. But we still get a nasty sized hit in. Oh no! Ay caramba. Alright, so we are dead in the water. Nice. Probably should have held a little bit back. You know what I mean? So we could have restarted that draw from our henge. All we need is one creature to get the whole party started again. And he slams out. He knows what's up. Oh! Alright, we need to make sure we start tapping our henge. I think we might have forgotten it once. Just for that 2 life, right? Let's go, creature card. Let's go. 4 or greater as well. Oh my lord, we're being punished here. This is a 5/5, baby. Are you serious? Cry. So we're playing a henge on henge, just gaining an extra 2 life. Because we are getting smashed here. I think this is a good game, honestly. That wipe absolutely slayed us. Nice, yeah, that's big time good games. Especially with that land on top. You know, we came close, but he was prepared. And maybe we need Heroic Intervention as an upgrade if that is a continual pattern that we see. Now, normally I wouldn't keep something like this. It's a little top end, you know, like a 6-drop and a 7-drop. But we have the ramp, and now the deck does have a lot of land within it. So if we can look at our MTG assistant here, we see that we got a 44% chance to be drawing land. So that's 1 in 3 guaranteed, almost, basically, right? There we go. Doesn't really get us anywhere. Is he going to burn our Ilysian Caryatid? We may as well attack. Red doesn't really have access to flash typically, so we don't need to worry about flash blockers there. Defender, okay. Oh, and then the volley hits us. Yorvo's nice play here, though. Take that draw, baby. That really helps us get our henge out. Wish we had the mana ramp still. That's fine, though. Now, 4/4 is getting to that point where we can survive what red has to throw at us. If we can get to 5, an even better chance. A 6, almost guaranteed unless he's using 2 spells. We do have trample, so ram through works quite well. And he is going to double down. Nice. So 2 for 1, plus Yorvo replace himself with a draw. Not the worst, I guess, right? We can cast this for 3. It's a bummer. It's only a 3/3, so it doesn't trigger. But we have to do everything we can every turn. Ooh. Do we need to kill that? I guess it's not that big of a threat yet. No tax, let's hang out. The second. Woo, he's all about these treasure tokens, boys. He hits for 6 here. Okay, that is maybe worrisome. I guess maybe we should have defended because, you know, he can play a big creature here. such as Gadrick, give it haste, and smash us. Nice! Okay, so some really interesting matches here in the play queue this morning. I've been having fun here. Even though we're getting smashed. So you can just basically play everything here because of these treasures. Nice. But he wants to keep them. But we can play our henge into nothing. Woof. No reach, though, is the thing. Just another classic good game. 2 uprisings is not really helpful. Nice. Holy, eh? Let's resolve this. I think EV Elemental would be fine. I was mentioning the interactive stages here. Check out the top right of your screen. Boom, lava worm. Let's just take this on the chin. Good game. Let's try to squeeze out a win here in the next match. Keeping 2, we could get punished, right? I mean, we've got that good chance to draw the land. No ramp. And it's generally low to the ground. I'll risk it. Again, we've got a pretty good chance to be drawing land. We're gonna play our Lord Yorvo first. Hopefully there's no removal. Maybe we'll play our Garenbrig first. Whatever do we do? The Brontodon should be able to smash for like 14-14. Death touch, annoying. And I hate it. Because if we draw another land, that could be ideal. So let's take the turn off. Woof. That was an immediate response. At least not on our henge. Oh, henge is an artifact, not an enchantment as well, so it would be safe there. Oh my lord. One, two. It's like we pay 3 basically because Yorvo. And we can't attack because of stupid death touch. We need more land. Stop it. We gotta put that reach on as well. If he removes our Yorvo, we're basically screwed. We can stop the flyer. Revitalize. Come on. Stop it. We need some fight effects. Stop it. 2 of them? That's obsessive. Not enough. We're basically dead next turn, right? Vito can give everybody lifelink. He's got 30 life, so even our attack does nothing. Good game. Mono green is getting bullied. Yeah, he just needs to give Vito like his ability for 5. 1, 2, 5. Still has 2 mana left over. Just use Vito's ability. Give everybody lifelink. Oh, that does it too. Nice. That's an alternative ending. 2 lands not going to cut it for us here. Going to mulligan this away. This doesn't do it either. Right, we have 25. Shouldn't be a problem to pull 3 lands. This is actually a cool hand if we can pull into 4. I think I kind of want to try it. 2 Uprisings isn't good. So we're going to toss one of those. And then hopefully we just draw land, right? To have 2 Packhunters opening hand could be really good. They have trample, and the second one's going to come out as a 5/5. We do not draw land, though. Oof. Wow. Missing a land drop hurts. Global Flip takes the draw. Where is the land? If he removes the cartridge here, we are in deep trouble. Even with it, we're not in a good position. Okay, we get the land. That's really nice. I mean, we should just go questing beast. They both have death touch though, so that's annoying. Now we're taking chip damage. No blocks. We're gonna ramp through on this Blightfang. This isn't too bad. I think we play our Packhunter. I'm not sure there should be too many wipes. I think he's just like a Death Touch tribal.
I'm running out of room to store my trophies.
As long as we're not taking the chip damage.
I'm good at killing, but I don't always enjoy it.
So we should play this first. And then because we hold 4 or greater, we can cast our cartridge for 2 mana. This comes in as a... Oh, it puts it on this one. On each other. Okay, I see. We're able to kill his Vraskas here. This Death Touch is annoying for me. At a certain point, though. 1 defender, we hit for 9. Let's take it, screw it. Right, we do 4 damage, 8 total. Kill his Verasquez, but we lose our Packhunter. Normally, stacking the Packhunters is great. Unfortunately, though, there's only so much damage we can take, and he's to the point where he's putting in 5 a turn. That's lethal, and 3 unless we start to, you know, deal with these.
Oh, I was getting bored anyway.
We can create 3/3s at will, which should be good to deal with the Death Touch guys. Ooh. For a Blightfang, eh? Nice. That's really good, right? This is what we're talking about, of it being problematic. More Death Touch. I will trade. Right? I think we just have to. Oof. Does not feel good. This is interesting, though. Still only doing 9 damage.
A world of monsters? This is my paradise. Every day is a new mutation.
Down to 8. We should have lethal next turn if we can survive. He gains 3 life here. We draw land, which isn't really ideal. Bay to the sideboard has 2 mana left. Interesting. Woof. Right, Heartless Act to slay Questing Beast. Sad face. Extinction event that he can't play. Okay, good. Good. Nice. No blocks. Let's just take the damage. We need all the damage output we can get. We just have to hope that he's got nothing. I mean, he can play the Fae as a blocker. I guess that's really good. I wish we had a creature to cast us off the top. That would have been so cool. We have trample. He's stopping quite a bit, but I think we should have this. Not that it matters.
I'd like you to meet my friend, Stompy.
So we're hitting for 10 here. Yes, we get it. Good game. Woo! That was close. Going first with a very, very awkward hand, but we're going to keep it. 3 land is pretty cool. Mono red is the exact opposite of cool. Gruul would be tough to beat as well. Interesting. Hopefully not Winota. We are curving quite nicely. Ooh, Krinko's not good. Just pushing our Packhunter out early in case we pull another. Infuriate on Krinko. We should have went with our Gemrazer and then we could have blocked, because this is gross. Nice, bro. More land is actually really good for us, but just goodness gracious. Let's go in with the creature. Draw a card. No attacks. We're basically screwed here already, I think. He's gonna double shock us? Are you serious? Wow. This guy. Well, you know I'm gonna trade with it. Of course. Well, he's got 4 defense. No blocks. Nice. Good game. Good game, bro. Just stop bullying me. All because we didn't put in our Gemrazer first to shut down this big boy Krinko. Oh! Alright, one more match, and then we're going to call her good for mono green. We are keeping the hand. 3 will get us going, right? We've got that 2-drop, which ensures that we have that 3rd. A little bit of removal. And we're still pulling land, which is great. Let's get our Summoning Sickness gone first. No attacks. I guess we could have. 1 free damage. It isn't Sultai Mutate deck. This is gross. This is gross. Not good. Let's take our draw. Yorvo can hit for free. 20. Hopefully we're not losing creatures with this next mutate. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can tap for 5. That's 6. We need to look out for Sterix next turn potentially. Or the turn after. Losing 2 life. He gains 2 plus pulls a land. Like I said, Sterix next turn. Incubation's looking for it. Gross. Another Great Horn helps regardless. We could win just based off pure trample damage. Right? Because we could use our Primal Might to buff up our already huge Brontodon. Because he will be attacking for 13 next turn. Actually 14. No, 13. He draws, pulls 2 land. We lose 3, he gains 3. We have 2 Primal Mights in hand as well, so this gets kind of weird. Not that 2's better than 1. It actually is less, because we have to use that 1 cost. Oh my lord. Alright. So he's at 19 again, sadly. We are 6, which is 13. I think actually we have it. Right? QQ. Cast this for... Oof. Right, cast it for 7. Submit 0. Auto pay. Now it buffs up. Ow! Got him. Green players that are new to Arena should be absolutely set for the following months. You know, crushing out their wins with this deck, farming some of the upgrades that we have in it, and waiting for Zendikar to hit, at which point maybe the deck will change. Maybe we'll get some new upgrades and we could revisit. So I do appreciate your time and attention, and a big shout out to all of our financial support on Twitch, YouTube, Patreon for making all of this not only a possibility, but a reality for all of us. So, you know, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this large and in charge free-to-play mono green upgrade guide for Magic the Gathering Arena. We've only incorporated 4 mythics and 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 rares, 6 mythics and 10 rares. So you know, the upgrades are strong, but like I said earlier, if you don't have them all, put in what you have, and it's just to get you in the right direction, right? Get you going, you know, where you should be. And again, we've only incorporated cards, at least the rares and mythics, that will be used in a lot of the top tiered decks in the year to come. We're playing it safe. We don't want you guys wasting your wild cards that are so hard to get, right? So do enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching. We're on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. at Twitch, and then back at 6 p.m. on YouTube. All Mountain Standard. Links in the description below. Join the Discord for the gem giveaway, 500,000 gems. And we've also got free entry cash prize monthly tournaments, Brawl, Artisan. So we're really trying to do our best to support the new players to Magic the Gathering Arena. Thank you all for your time and attention. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, hit that bell icon so you're notified of all of our future jazz. And most importantly, go have yourselves a magical day. Take care.